Hello everybody and welcome to this SUPboarder comparison review of the 2023 Fanatic Ray Air range. In this video, we're going to be educating you about these touring style of boards and why you should be considering buying them as a beginner rider or as a first-time paddler to get you into the sport of stand-up paddling. First of all, we're going to be learning about the specifications of each board that we have and their fittings as well. We're going to be taking a look at some of the different constructions within the range, but also bring in their compact shape. And then we're going to move into understanding a little bit more about this touring shape, and then getting into the pros, cons, and value for money of these boards. And then at the end of the video, we are going to let you know exactly who these boards are going to suit. So make sure you do stick around and listen until then. The three boards we are touching on in this review, we're going to be looking at the Ray Air Premium construction, the Ray Air Pure construction, and also the Ray Air Pocket compact shape. They are all the same dimensions and they stand at 11 feet 6 inches long, 31 inches wide, 6 inches thick, totaling a volume of 299 litres. The boards come in different weights due to their construction, and we're going to be looking at the Ray Air Premium construction first. Premium construction weighs 11 kilograms and the board retails for £859 or $1,029 US. The deflection test on this board, we measured it at 20 psi and the board deflected at 10 millimeters. Also in the premium construction, there is a 12'6" long by 32 inches wide, and also a touring specific board at 13 feet 6 inches long and 35 inches wide. The construction of these boards, it is the double layer light technology, which uses extra railband reinforcements and PVC layers to really make this board durable and long lasting. The package you get with the premium construction Fanatic Ray Air, it includes the board, a wheeled backpack, a click-in US center box fiberglass fin, and a HP8 pump. Taking a look at the fittings on the board, and we'll notice there is an FCS mount at the nose for a camera or accessory, along with a small D-ring. Moving down the board, we'll notice they have the bungee tie-down points to carry gear just in front of that standing area. Moving back, there is a windsurf mast foot insert with a comfortable carry handle behind that, and it is weighted well. To the tail of the board, we see the inflation point and the D-ring for the leash, and the deck pad on the board is nice and comfortable and grippy. There's a US center fin box on the bottom of this board, along with a towing D-ring at the nose. Moving on to the Ray Air Pure construction, this comes in both red and blue color, and the board weighs 8.4 kilograms. It retails for £489 or $639 US in that 11'6" size. The deflection with this construction at 20 psi measured 15 millimeters. Also in this construction, there is a 12'6" long by 32 inches wide. It has a drop stitch light technology, which uses PVC layers to strengthen the board. The package for the Pure construction includes the board, a backpack, it comes with a screw-in plastic US center fin, and a HP8 pump. The fittings on the board include those bungee tie-down points to carry gear just in front of the standing area, a carry handle in the middle of the board, an inflation point toward the tail, along with a D-ring for your leash. Again, the deck pad is nice and comfortable and grippy, and on the bottom of the board we have that US center fin box with a towing D-ring at the nose as well. Moving on to the compact shape of the Ray Air Pocket, and this board weighs in at 8.5 kilograms and retails for £649 or $849 US. The deflection of this board at 20 psi measured 10 millimeters. The board uses micro technology, which provides a featherweight and quality construction that can be rolled and packed into a backpack half the width of a standard ice-up package. The package of the compact board includes the board, a small backpack, 2 click-in plastic fins, and a HP8 pump. The fittings on that board include bungee tie-down points to carry gear, a really comfortable carry handle that is weighted well, an inflation point, D-ring for your leash, and that deck pad around the standing area. On the bottom, there are 2 click-in fin boxes with a towing D-ring at the nose. What I will mention with all of the packages is that it does come with a repair kit as well. And with the prices, We have seen some great sales on at the moment through some of the retailers, both UK, in the US, and in Europe. So do make sure you go and check out those discounts because you can get a really great board at a great price. When unpacking all of these boards, we noticed that the pump was the only thing wrapped in plastic. So Fanatic doing quite well with their environmental packaging. They did use paper packaging for the board. Now, something that caught my attention as I was researching these boards before they arrived, but also as I was unpacking them, and maybe you picked up on it then as I was describing the package contents, these boards don't come with a leash or a paddle. Now, the lack of the paddle in the package, I think that could be quite a good thing because it means that you can go and buy your own paddle and maybe get a little bit of a better paddle than you would in a typical ice up package. So opting for something that's maybe got some carbon in it or is that lighter weight fiberglass kind of carbon blend. Getting a really good paddle is going to help your paddling, but it's also going to help your body and your shoulders and your back and your arms. It just feels a lot lighter in your hands and it is going to make a big difference to your paddling. So I'd highly recommend getting a good paddle with these boards to kind of match that quality. Now, one thing that I've been thinking about quite a lot is the lack of leash that comes with the board. And I'm thinking, is that a silly thing that the leash doesn't come with the board? But then also, maybe it gets us to understand a little bit more about our equipment and makes us think, actually, what type of leash do I need for my paddling and the paddling conditions that I will be using the board in? Because it does change. And we've done a lot of safety videos around leashes and which one is right for you and your paddling. So if you are thinking of using these boards on moving water, you're gonna have to get a waist leash or a quick release waist belt. Or if you are thinking of just using it in the flat water, you can get a standard coiled leash with the ankle or calf attachment. I know a lot of the retailers online will add a leash into the package for an extra cost, so they aren't forgetting about that. And I think it's a really great opportunity for us to learn more about the equipment we're using and why it's important to use different types of leashes, and it also paddles as well. So if you do have any questions about that, please feel free to drop them in the comments below. We'll happily get back to you, or do take those questions to your local retailer who will be able to assist you. So taking a closer look at the shape of the Fanatic Ray Air range, we can see that these touring style of boards have a pointed nose. Now what this does, it reduces the size of the board at the front and therefore it pushes less water and decreases the drag. So you get a faster board through the water. And when we compare that to an all-round shaped board, like the Fanatic Fly for example, we'll see it has a rounded nose and that board does push a lot more water. The length of the Ray range is longer than a normal all-round ISUP, which are about 10 feet 6 inches long. So you get that added glide from a longer board, again increasing the speed. The width of these boards make them suitable for beginner and intermediate paddlers searching for a board that is stable yet fast. At 31 inches for the 11.6 long and the 32-inch width for the 12'6" long, you get a really good stable platform suiting most riders of most weights. That width is really focused around the standing area and you can see that the outline of the board is quite parallel, which adds to the tracking and paddling in a straight line. So getting into the more touring style of board, you can have a lot more speed to paddle around the next headland or explore into the next tributary or paddle a bit further on the lake. Wherever you do paddle, these style of boards gives you a little bit more access to different areas to explore, which I think is fantastic. And if you are thinking of getting into stand-up paddling or buying your first stand-up paddleboard or upgrading, definitely take a look at these rather than those all-round style of boards, because the touring boards, you get all the benefits of an all-round ISUP with the width and the stability, but you just have this little bit of a narrower nose and a little bit a longer length to be able to get you places faster and explore more of your waterways. Taking the board out on the water, it felt very lively and very light and agile as well. It really maneuvered itself quite well, and I like that the 11'6" size is a blend of that great maneuverability, but also you get a bit more speed too. Very stable board as well when paddling, especially at that 31 inches of width, and it's very easy to paddle. It felt quite stiff out on the water too, which is an added bonus, and it felt really nice going through the water. Carrying gear on the board, it felt like it handled it very well, and I think you could really add a lot more gear or even a bit more weight as the rider as well. Performing step back turns on the board, like I said, it turned around nice and quickly and it still felt stable when you were stepping back there. So great to see that you have that stability when stepping back and stepping forward on the board. Then let's move over to the Ray Pure construction in that blue and red color. As part of our SUPboarder Pro head-to-head test of the Improver All-Round iSUPs last year, the Fanatic Ray Pure construction was in that test, and the board actually won the best iSUP under 500 British pounds. The testers loved the overall performance of this board in that category, and it serves its purpose as that introductory touring board very, very well. When I was riding the board, it felt really lightweight in the water, which just meant that it just had that reaction time and it just felt really easy to paddle, something that you sometimes don't get out of a lot of different iSUPs on the market. And then moving into the Ray Pocket Compact shape, that was actually part of another SUPboarder Pro head-to-head test that we conducted earlier this year, which was the compact test. Surprise, surprise, this board, it won the whole test. Just the speed, the glide and performance were amazing compared to the other boards on test, and the price point is awesome for this board as well. The bag was a real hit with the testers. It's super comfy and easy to carry the board and the gear inside for long distances. So bundling all these boards together and taking a look at some of the pros that we found with all of them. Well, first off, they do work really well out on the water. They are a very well designed stand-up paddleboard, especially for that introductory touring and getting you onto a board that's nice and stable as well. The quality of the board is really nice and the price is definitely a big pro too. They all weigh just a little bit less than other iSUPs on the market in that same category, so you are getting a nice lightweight board. Now taking a look at one of the cons that we noticed, and the major con on all of the boards, is the lack of the handles. Usually on a touring iSUP you might find a handle at the front and or at the back, and I'd really like to see that just for maneuvering the board in shallow water, especially if you're carrying gear. It's really hard to maneuver that board from the middle. It'd be great if you could just go to either end and twist the board around, just making it a lot easier when you are moving the board. So maybe we'll see this in the next editions of the Ray Air. So speaking about value for money for these boards, and yes, you are getting great value for money, especially if you can find them on sale. But otherwise, even at the full price, you're still getting a really top quality board from a major SUP brand. So moving into taking a look at who these boards are going to suit, and let's start with the Ray Air Premium. This is designed to be a lot more durable and probably longer lasting than the Pure construction. It has that extra rail band, so it's definitely going to be better for those heavier riders with a little bit more kind of weight in the board as well. So looking at riders from anywhere between 70 to 100 kilograms, but I really think the sweet spot is for those riders between the 80 and 90 kilogram mark. And you can definitely still take and carry some gear on this board as well, and it's not going to affect the performance too much. If you do weigh more, or you want a more stable board, or you're at that beginner level, take a look at the 12 foot 6 by 32 inch wide board, or even the 13 feet 6 inches long if you are going on that overnight or multi-day SUP adventure. Moving into that red blue pure construction in the Ray Air, and this board is definitely more lightweight and suited to those lighter weight riders between 60 and 90 kilograms. It caters really well for those riders between 70 and 80 kilograms, as you will get the most out of this board due to that deflection test. You could have a similar skill level from beginner to intermediate paddler on this board. And if you were that heavier rider, taking a step up to the 12 foot 6 by 32 inch width is advised. Take a look at the compact shape, and riders up to 100 kilograms would actually suit this board as found in that SUPboarder Pro test. But it's really going to suit those riders between say 70 and 85 kilograms, looking for that smaller, lightweight and compact iSUP that you can take on some serious SUP adventures. Remember though that you can get these boards as a beginner paddler getting into the sport of stand-up paddling. Maybe if you want to go and take a lesson, you'd probably be learning on something like the Fanatic Fly in that all-round shape. But then purchasing something like the Ray Air range is going to really help your paddling and progress your paddling as well. If you have any questions on anything we've mentioned in this video today, or maybe there's something that you have a question about that we missed, please do leave them in the comments below and we will definitely get back to you with our answers and advice. Thank you very much for tuning in and watching this SUPboarder comparison review of the 2023 Fanatic Ray Air range. We really hope that you enjoyed watching it, and we look forward to seeing you on another SUPboarder video really soon.